I got a very special guest today. We're going to have a conversation about life, faith, purpose, things of that nature. That's what Sing Conversations is all about. Our topic for tonight is about men, faith, and the things we don't talk about. So I've got a very special guest. Like I said, I've been knowing this man for 20 plus years. He's from my hometown. Uh, no other than my man, Terrell Warner. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Good to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Uh, I wanted to ask you a couple questions, so like I said, we'll have a good conversation and get started. So if you can tell everybody a little bit about yourself and the journey that has shaped who you are today.
Uh, well, father, grandfather. Uh, I currently have a box truck business. So that's what I've been doing for about 4 years. Um, got my CDLs about 20 years ago. So I was in a semi truck for about 15 years. Learned a lot from that. But then kind of where, we know each other from. We don't work together at some different places or whatnot. And basically been through a lot of things as far as job wise or whatnot in life. But kind of what I've always been told, especially by my moms, is all the different jobs that we've had that we've experienced in the past. What I'm saying, kind of shape you or prepare you for where you're at today. What I'm saying, because it's life just gets rougher and rougher, so you got to learn how to deal with those different type of things. But I think everything that we've gone through in the past has kind of shaped us, helped us to address uh, where we are today
Yeah,
a lot easier than way back when, I would say.
yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of growth, man. We all go through stuff and when we're younger, but when we get to the age where we at, man, a lot more mature, a lot more focused, things like that. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, for sure. So when people see you now, what do you think people assume about you?
Uh, I think they probably assume that I'm really quiet, and that is true with strangers. Uh, Probably assume I'm doing okay in life. They don't really know. They just know the outward appearance. They don't know anything about struggles or what it took to get where I'm at and where I'm trying to get to. So I just like to give a good appearance, man. I kind of like to try to lead by example. Staying out of things I'm not supposed to be into, staying away from places I'm not supposed to be at, watching what I say and when I say it, listen
Yeah,
a whole lot more now than speak. So I listen a lot more and then just kind of try to uplift people, man, as far especially younger people, from my
yeah,
kids, friends, just younger people in general, man, just giving them something positive, when I can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed you said something about being quiet, that's kind of what I've been talking about past couple of months, because I'm the same way, right? Where,
Hmm.
as men, we internalize a lot of things and we just try to get it done, what I mean, and stay focused. But I'm trying to create an atmosphere to let men know that it's okay, you don't have to handle everything on your own. Um, what do you feel like people what is something that people do not see that you carry daily?
mm I would just say people don't know about your internal pressures. What I mean? They just don't know everything that's on your plate. They don't know uh your priorities as far as what you feel like you need to get done or what you're shooting for, what you have to sacrifice to get where you're trying to go. They don't see any of that when they just see you in passing.
Yeah,
They just think, oh, okay, well, there goes Steve. Steve look like he got his stuff together and this, and this. They don't know, like all of Steve gray hair on his face didn't just come from age. You know what I mean?
yeah,
A lot of challenges going on out here. You got to learn how to deal with life.
Yeah,
constantly throwing you curveballs.
yeah,
And, everybody going through something different. So you just learn over time, as you said, as we mature, learn how to deal with some different things. But the outside world has no idea what you go through on a daily basis or whatever pressures you may carry and really that you put on yourself to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve.
yeah. So I'll give you a good example with that. Like, so just running a business, you run your own business, you know what I'm saying, your trucking business, and I got my thing going on as well. Nobody sees the grind behind the scenes. The late nights driving, the early mornings getting home, still gotta lay it down and get up and do it all over again. The
Mm-hmm.
miles, the potential accidents, all those things that could potentially happen. And the same thing on my end, late nights, designing clothes, prepping mentally for conversations like this, trying to come up with ways to motivate others and pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's the things that people do not see behind the scenes. So
Mm-hmm.
that's spot on, man.
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the pressures that you have specifically felt as a man that you don't always talk about?
Um, I would say just the different challenges that you run into, because to me it seems like as you're trying to grow, there's more and more new speed bumps that get in the way,
Yeah,
and they could hinder your process if you allow that. So, as you know, the way we were raised, we were taught how to, go through it, go around it, go over it, but you make it happen. You figure out how to make it happen. So it's just more or less the challenges that you didn't see coming. Somebody could tell you, oh, you should maybe start whatever business, and everything sounds fantastic, but they don't tell you any of the work that has to be put in. They don't tell you about expenses, overhead, all these things you gotta learn on your own. And when you learn them and see like what it's gonna take, it's a whole different ball game, and it definitely make you consider like, is this really what I want to do? Am I
yeah,
willing to put in the amount of work that it's gonna take to be successful? So these are pressures nobody has any clue about.
yeah,
Like if I told everybody what my expenses was with the trucking business, what I'm saying, you might have a couple people feel woozy.
yeah,
They might actually feel faint, like you pay that monthly, like yeah, but you got to figure it out. If you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out.
yeah,
And then don't be afraid to confide in other people that have had success and ask those questions. And don't be afraid to take constructive criticism to allow yourself to grow. You
yeah,
know what I mean? You can't be getting the attitude when somebody tells you, you probably overspending here. You think you're doing all the right things, but you don't know what you don't know.
yeah,
So be willing to accept that constructive criticism and implement it, man, and take from it what you need to take from it and continue to grow.
yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good point. So have you ever gone through a season where you felt like you had to carry everything alone? And if so, what did that look like?
Um, I mean, I don't know if I've ever really felt completely alone because as I've gotten older, I've gotten closer to God, and I've kind of learned over time, like if I really pray and not just pray, but like get on your knees, like set time apart to get on your knees and talk to Him, which I don't know who does and who doesn't. That's not really my concern. Like how you communicate with God. But for me, when pressures build up, like man, I didn't foresee my son needing this last minute or my daughter needing this last minute or whoever else maybe that might need assistance because at us we got big hearts, so we always trying to help where we can, just things you don't foresee coming. So then it's just an added pressure because you might have funds delegated to take care of A, B, and C, and now all of a sudden something else comes in and it's really important and you need to take care of it. So now that becomes like immense pressure on what am I going to do? How am I going to work my way through this? So what I've learned is for me personally, I just deal with God, man. I pray so much, it's crazy. like I said, I don't leave the house without being on my knees. I refuse to get out here and deal with what you would call regular population. I call these people humans because they because they challenge me mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I just give everything to God, man, and I try to be intentional about my relationship with God and my prayer and how that works for me, and it makes things lighter. I just feel like things are lighter. I feel like pressure that would normally break people down, it doesn't bother me maybe on the same level because my relationship with Him is so strong. That's just how I feel. That's how I do my day to day, and it's working for me.
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful. So faith, that's it, man. Like that's the key right there. You got to be connected to the source, man, because
Hmm.
we weren't built necessarily to handle everything on our own. That's where he comes in, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, you spot on, man. You gotta have that faith. You gotta have that connection to the right source, and,
Hmm.
and be dependent upon him.
That's right.
I've been saying this a lot here lately. Once I learned to take that step towards God, I realized that he gonna take the rest, bro. He's gonna take the rest.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate you being transparent on that, man.
Hmm.
Did you ever, was there ever a time where you wrestled internally with God or your purpose or your direction in life?
Personally, I don't think I haven't personally wrestled with God, but I think anybody that's trying to be successful as wrestle with purpose
Yeah,
and what direction you're going in because life changes so much. And like I said, your ideas, oh man, I want to open up this laundromat and do this and that,
yeah,
and then you get into it, and you realize the amount of work that it's going to take for you to be successful, and didn't nobody tell you that. So once you get to doing your research, whether it's YouTube University or however you choose to research, you see what it's going to take, you see what you got to sacrifice. It's enough to deter some people from that direction.
yeah,
So like I said, for me, I'm too scared of God to try to wrestle with him. I'll put it that way. I'm not gonna challenge him. I refuse. You know what I mean? I just refuse. But the other things, yeah, I wrestle with, man. Is this for me? They told me when I first started my trucking company, you're gonna want to quit 100 times in the first 2 or 3 years. That's accurate. That's accurate. I got gray hair everywhere, brother. I got gray hair everywhere. You know what I mean? So and I'm like, dang, come on, man. I ain't tell me all this. Y'all showing all this money you can make, yada yada yada. Man, you gotta have a foundation. The foundation start with God, and then you gotta move from there. And then
yeah,
you gotta be, what I'm saying, willing to take constructive criticism. You gotta talk to people more successful than yourself, people that have ideas that's doing things. You know what I mean? It don't do me no good to go talk to Joe Blow who don't have no motion. Well, I'm gonna go ask him questions about my box truck business. He just no, man. It's just a dead conversation. It just is what it is. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You ask me, but yeah, it
yeah,
starts with a foundation, and that's God. So that's
yeah,
where I start with, and over, like I said, 4 years in now. So it took me 3 years to learn how to make some money,
yeah,
and then when I did learn how to make some money, the moves that I'm making now, I could have made those 2 years ago. Maybe I didn't have God involved enough. Maybe
yeah,
that's why the vision wasn't clear,
yeah,
but it's more clear now. So things are looking up. I feel a lot better. But
yeah,
I
man.
haven't stopped. I haven't stopped what I do. I still hit my knees every day. I still read the Bible consistently. You know what I mean? So doing things for self improvement, self love, self awareness. That's just how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what everybody else does, but if somebody wants to talk to me about what I do, it's gonna start with God. Like how's your relationship with Him? You
Yeah,
cannot be successful without Him. I don't care
yeah,
what you do. Care what you do. Care what you say. You cannot be successful without Him. I
yeah.
stand on that all day long.
No doubt, man. So, I've been there, man. My business started six months ago. yeah, approximately 6 months ago, man. And
Mm.
there was a lot of nights, talking to my wife, like, man, I don't know about this. I think I might have to reconsider, you know what I mean? Because, I'm still working a full-time job and all that.
Right.
Plus trying to do this as well. And
Hmm.
it's tough, man. You still got the responsibilities of your family, you know, the stomach still got to be fed, bills still got to be paid.
That's right.
You me trying to focus on what I feel like God has led me to do. So
Hmm.
it's been a lot of nights where I'm like, man, I ain't getting no likes. I ain't getting no hearts on them posts. Ain't nobody sharing. Is this really what it's supposed to be? And then it clicked, man. It ain't about that, bro.
Right.
It ain't about that at all.
Right.
It's what is Stephen's purpose to show the God in him. That's the key. And that's how I'm moving, man. It's
Hmm.
been the most fulfilling I've ever been in my entire life because it's on purpose, but not about me. It's about God and what He's leading me to do. And I think once people figure that out, the rest of it doesn't even matter, man. So
Seem like it falls into place.
it does, man, because
Man.
what I do know is door after door after door is continuing to open because I've opened my heart and soul to Him. That's
Hmm.
what I do know.
Right.
Because I know that when I wasn't doing that, things wasn't popping like it should be. You
Right.
know.
And you
So
thinking, why not? Like,
yeah,
dang, what's the problem? I'm doing all the right things. You gotta do the biggest thing, brother.
yeah,
And a lot of times you can't see clearly until you run into these challenges.
yeah,
I'm sharing these posts. These are pretty good posts. Why are they not getting more likes? Why are people not commenting? Why are people not engaging?
yeah, yeah,
You can't look at why they're not doing what they do. You got to do what you got to do
yeah,
with the foundation,
yeah,
and then after that, things
yeah,
just start to open up. It's amazing for real. So I mean, I love the
yeah,
feeling, but I'm
yeah,
definitely happy for you, man. Keep on pushing.
yeah. I am, man. Same for
Keep on
you, man.
pushing.
Same for you, man.
We gotta
Uh,
support each other, brother.
yeah, yeah. Let me ask you this question, man. Was there any type of truth that you had to accept in order to move forward when you had like any challenges or struggles or things like that?
I guess the one truth I had to probably deal with and accept, uh, things are not gonna come the way I want them to on my timing.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm pushing hard. I'm breaking my back. Um, I'm not getting no sleep. I'm running so much I can't tell you what day of week it is.
yeah,
I'm thinking I'm busting my tail. You can't go no harder than I'm going. Why are things not going the way I want them to go?
yeah,
It's not about your timing.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
about your timing. We can all sit here right now and man, I need this right now. I need this right now. I need this right now. Still go back to God. He gonna give you what you need for right now. And when you need more, or he feels like you can handle more, he'll give you more. But you got to ask for it, and
yeah.
you got to do the right things to get there, to get his
Exactly.
attention. In my opinion, but you got to give some of yourself.
Yeah,
You got to give
absolutely.
some of you. You just can't do it on your own. It's impossible.
Yeah,
I believe it's impossible.
yeah.
So
No, absolutely,
yeah, I just think
absolutely.
you got to have that foundation. The foundation starts with him.
Yeah,
And then once you start seeing a little bit of success, do you stay with still talking to him, still reading the words, still hitting your knees? Do you stay with
right,
that? Or do you say,
right.
oh, I'm making a little money now, man. I'm gonna go ahead and move the way I was moving, and you're
Yeah,
gonna see some things backtrack.
yeah.
You've been there,
Yeah,
done that.
it's easy to praise him, man, when everything is going great, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes, sir.
easy. You know what I mean? But what are you gonna do? What's your commitment level when things are not going so great? That's the question. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So,
And there's
yeah,
the challenge. Am I gonna quit? Am I gonna walk away? Am I gonna look for other ways? Like I said, I'm saying what I'm saying for the person who's thinking about starting something, doing something new, already into something, if if you want to see growth, you got to have the right foundation.
Yeah,
This is what it is. And
yeah,
I may not have necessarily looked at it that way 4 years ago.
yeah,
I'm just thinking, oh, I've been driving trucks, you know what I'm saying? I know almost everything it is to know about trucks and all this. I could do this. And then I got to seeing expenses. I was like, man, y'all trying to rob me. Yeah, yeah. I just completely flipped. What is this? It's part of the game. It's
yeah,
what you gotta learn. It's part of you doing your own research. Most
yeah,
people don't tell you about the negatives. That's why mentors are so important,
yeah,
especially if you can get a mentor that's in your line of work. Then they
yeah,
could tell you about some things that may be coming down the pipeline for you to prepare for that you
yeah,
just didn't know about. And I'm telling you, if you don't know about some of those expenses and overhead, when you start to see it, you gonna flip back into that mode. Oh, they trying to rob me. This ain't right. No, it is right. You just it's what you got to go through, man.
yeah.
It's what you got to go through some challenges, bro. There's no way around it. Crawl before you walk, walk before you run.
Hey, if it was easy, everybody be doing it, man.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? So
Come
if it
on.
was that easy, everybody would
Yeah.
be doing it.
Yes,
You
sir.
know?
You know
So
about the long nights. I ain't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Just part
yeah,
of it.
part of it,
Are
man.
you, are you willing to do that? I'm speaking on business owners, or and it's 100% okay if you want to keep punching the clock.
Yeah,
If you're comfortable with that, and that's your wheelhouse, stick with it, man. I support you with that.
yeah,
But if you want to step out here and get something on your own, try to present some opportunities for your community, try to uplift some people, try to do some different things, then yes, it's gonna take some work. It is not easy at all.
no, not even a little bit, man.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah. So, so I want to talk a couple minutes about the word "sing." So I know you probably seen me, no pun intended, posting about it, talking about it. After I started my business, the clothing business, God spoke to me about going higher and doing more. And that's why I came up with the SEEN movement. So basically, SEEN is an acronym, and it means first and foremost, seen by God, equipped, empowered, and needed. So basically, what that means is with everything, first and foremost, you got to identify what your purpose is and who you are and whose you are. That's what the scene means, right? Then you got equipped. So everything that we've been through on our journeys, whether it be challenges early on in childhood, young adulthood, parenting, all that type of stuff, that's God equipping you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your journey. That's your toolbox, right? Once you realize that, you become empowered. So now I'm confident. I'm confident to start that podcast. I'm confident to start that business. I'm
Yes.
confident to take that first step so I can pay it forward and help others. And then lastly, once you realize all that, you realize that you're needed. You're needed in the world. You're needed in your families, your communities, things like that. So that's this movement that I've built. And more specifically, I'm trying to target men. So that's why started the Scene Brotherhood because we carry a lot, don't talk through things. We feel like we got to be tough all the time and don't acknowledge that we need help.
Mm-hmm.
So I said all that to say, what does the word "seen" mean to you as a man today?
If I had to put in a nutshell, I would say more or less going back to something I've already said, which is supporting which is supporting each other first and foremost. That support can come in different forms. So I think uplifting each other is really, really important. Because some of the people I've seen join your group, I didn't even know they had a business, or I didn't know what they were doing exactly. So to see that, I'm happy about that. As you know, it's the world we live in. Everybody's not happy to see you grow. So don't assume and don't look for a bunch of people to necessarily celebrate you. But I think it takes people like you and myself to start celebrating people, you know what I'm saying, more often and in different ways. So that's what I would say in a nutshell. Because I tell you one thing, and I won't use no names, but it was his brother. We grew up with him. I know about his past because we grew up with him, and it's been really bumpy with what he was into. But now I've seen him come out of that, grow in a position where he's seen, constantly being uplifted. He's kind of in the public now. And I remember a year or two ago, we were having some dealings about something minor, no conflict or nothing like that. But I told that brother that I was proud of him. You know what I'm saying? He's older than me. I think he felt some kind of way about me telling him that I was proud of him. So it's almost like me saying something to him that he's not used to hearing from a peer. I don't know if it bothered him, but he kind of just shut me off, and I was like, "And that's weird." You know what I'm saying? I took it as it was weird, but at the same time, looking at it from a different perspective, maybe he's just not used to other men that would be considered peers telling him that they're proud of him. I done
Yeah,
seen you come from the mud, dude. I done seen you get up out of nothing and become something, and I'm proud of you. I'm
yeah,
younger than you, but I'm proud of you. Like it's okay, dude, for me to tell you I'm proud of you. It's okay for me to tell you I love you.
yeah,
It ain't nothing funny about it, man. Just we got to get out this weirdness. But I think it's been put on us so much. Oh, I don't be telling no brothers that I love them and all that. Some of these brothers don't even tell their own kids you love them. I mean, hey, snap out of that, cuz. Snap out of that.
yeah,
So just it's those little things, and it's facing that I think allows people like me and you to maybe grow more rapidly than some others that feel weird because a brother told him that he's proud of him, and you know what I'm saying, I love you. I love you as a brother.
yeah,
It ain't nothing weird, bro. I'm just supporting your journey. And I know some about what you've been through in life, whether it's been jail or drugs or whatever. I know some of that about your life. I'm not holding it over your head. I'm just telling you I love to see your progress. I love to see where you came from. Proud of you.
yeah,
That's all. Don't make it more than what it is. It's only weird if you make it weird. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So that's just how I move, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people accept it, some people don't. I'll be over here on my journey when you decide to get on board. You know what I'm saying? But as far as if you ask me, if I see you doing something positive, especially with all the brothers and sisters that I see doing positive things, like I'm happy for you. I'm not jealous. I'm not hating on you behind your back. Like we got to get out of this craziness, man. Like uplift each other, but and that's where I go right on back to. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you because I just there's no reason to be that way. But you and I have already graduated from that level of thinking. So I'm
yeah,
okay, you know what I'm saying? When you like, man, good to hear from you, dog. I love you, man. I hope we catch up soon. I'm gonna tell you I love you back. It's only weird if you make it weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm thinking where you going with it. I'm just supporting you. Simple as that, dude. I'm gonna keep it 100 like that to my last breath. I'm gonna keep moving the same way I raise my kids that way. I stay in my grandbaby's ears like that. Like I want y'all to stand strong. Don't be
yeah,
getting sidetracked by thought process you shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Rise above that smaller thought process. And that's just how I move. That's how I'm gonna keep moving too. But I support all these brothers and sisters, man. I love it to death. I love everything everybody doing. Whether your business is registered or not, I still love what you're doing. And if I get an opportunity to throw them some business, I'm gonna throw them some business. That's how it's supposed to work. Let's support each other. Let's love on each other. Yeah.
Man, I think you just ended the show on that one, brother. So,
Well, I like it. I have fun.
yeah, man, we gotta
Yeah.
do it again, man. But I appreciate your time today. Uh, Definitely gonna bless somebody with this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for watching. This is Stephen Miller, Scene Conversations, where we talk about life, identity, and purpose. Have a blessed day. We're out. Peace.